What's up, everybody? Morning, Carpo Rant. Nothing in particular here to talk about, except, I don't know, my personal take on, I guess, feeling good about life. You go through these phases where you feel good about everything and everything's going great, and then you go through a phase where things are just kind of a drag, and it's like, for me, it creeps in. It's not like something that just comes one day where I'm overwhelmed. It's just like it builds up, and then it doesn't really show its face. It hides behind a mask of, half happiness, or like maybe one day I'm really trying my best to be positive about things, but everything just feels wrong, or I just don't feel right. A couple weeks ago it was like that, because I had a toothache. I think it was an infection, in the root. And I got it fixed, but still it takes a while for your body to recover. And I could really tell that my body was struggling. And it bummed me out, but I felt so much better afterwards. But beyond like the health concerns, just feeling good about life in general. It's something that just comes in waves. And, it's hard for me to see any way out of that cycle, I guess. It's not something that I'm like trying to get over, like, darn it, the bad times are bad. It's just that I have to acknowledge it. And like, for now, financially, I'm not doing well. And we have to admit and be honest with ourselves, in today's society, if you're not financially secure, you're not feeling 100%. It doesn't matter how much you've removed yourself from society or society's needs. I consider myself a minimalist. I don't buy a lot of extra stuff, although sometimes I go to Goodwill and I'll make a whim purchase of a couple receivers, hoping to like resell them down the road. That's one of my weaknesses, that I was a pack rat. Not necessarily a hoarder. I don't like to keep junk. I like to keep things. I have a lot of hobbies and stuff that I do. And so I'm cool with that, and I understand that, but I'm a minimalist in the sense that I always buy the cheapest of things that I can, and I can't really afford to go out and eat or splurge. We go out to eat maybe once every few months, so it's a rare occasion. And not that I don't have my vices, you see. It's not that I'm a minimalist, that I'm a penny pincher. See, it's the opposite. It's like I'm a minimalist on things that I can. I guess I'm kind of a frugal in that sense, because I have no problem buying weed or good food, good organic food at the grocery store. It's just a matter of not wanting to waste extra money, more than I have to eat well. But I think being honest about that, for me, it was kind of like, it took a long time for me to just realize, yeah, I have faults, and I've got things in life that maybe I could work on. But it's kind of hard to embrace the bad times, and look at things positively when you're maybe not even 100%, you're not even 100% sure how you feel or how you could feel. It's like, could I feel better if I was doing this, or could I feel better if I had more money, or would I feel better, or is this a health-related issue, or whatever it might be. I'm just a guy living my experiences in life. I'm definitely not, I'm not claiming to have a grasp on all the balances and checks and balances of life. Like, there's no way I would even try to. There's days when I question myself. I question what I believe. I question what I think. It's not there's days, it's every day I question myself. And it's easy for me to think, do other people think this way? Do other people change their mind every day? Do other people wake up and think, was this a good idea? If there's one thing that I've been asking myself the most lately, to be honest, is a person better off wandering through all the different things in life, getting at bits and pieces and tastes of everything? Or are they better off adhering to one principle or another very strongly, so they feel like they're a part of something? And it's a question that I've been addressing philosophically through many different angles. Like, what I mean, I guess the ultimate example of it would be, should a person take an open view to all beliefs, or like religion wise, or should they just stick with one because it's the best thing for them? Like, as if, yes, there are many paths to God, but only a person who sticks with one, kind of like dedication, you know. I wonder about those things. Like, do people, you know, or if you're more open to many different channels, are you more open to understanding? You know, all those different, I don't know. I believe a moderation really is the key, and so even in Buddhist, you know, tradition, moderation and balance is everything. And a lot of Chinese primal type religions were the same way. Everything was always about balance, and even in modern day Christianity, it's about good and evil, light and dark. In pretty much all the religions, it's something about balance of something. And with that balance and equality, I think it means that we can't expect to be like, I don't know. I don't really know how to put it. That's why I called it a rant. I warned you. And checks and balances of life. Well, I guess it's really irrelevant what kind of a conclusion I come to on it anyway. You know, my viewpoint is merely mine, and it's a product of all the years of society programming, self-programming, and acceptance and denial of various aspects of life. The one thing that I've learned that really helps me understand people is that people will lean towards one belief or another, and in that process they'll start to only seek out certain parts that help with that, like politically, economically. If a person, say, works for a company that they know they shouldn't work for because they're polluting the environment, you know, they'll justify that through one means or another. I'm not saying that that's wrong. People have to make money and make a living. I think that's just the nature of the beast, you know. And I'm trying to look at society the same way. I'm really trying to say, you know, we gotta just take the good and the bad, but I don't really know. I don't know shit, you know. I'm just a guy talking. What can I say, you know? I definitely don't have any real personal views on that whole light and dark, good and evil thing, because the whole duality, non-duality discussion to me is just a moot point. It's just really irrelevant to me. I also don't believe or care in the free will debate or determinism or any of that. I've looked into all these philosophies, and it's just a bunch of garbage to me. I can't find any use in it for my life. It's understanding the philosophical differences, discussions, debates, and convictions, and basically discussion techniques and understandings of how people's minds operate is the one thing that really has helped me, because I can see when a person's really trying to get along and have a discussion, or if they're just trying to push buttons, or you know, I think understanding people better helps me understand myself better too. So that's one thing I really have learned, but most of the other stuff is just, I don't know. I don't really know what I've learned that's helpful in that sense, but anyway, better end this. It's just ending up being a rant. What can I say? They're all rants. Some people can't handle the rants, and they give me shit for it, and say that I'm just blabbering nonsense. Like that Joey guy told me that, you know, that this is propaganda that I'm, you know, speaking here. Well, I got news for you, buddy. It's irrelevant. I don't care. I'm just here to speak my mind. I'm not trying to convince anybody of anything. In fact, if anything, I think that most people have convinced themselves of things much better than I ever could. I can't even convince myself that anything's true. This reality that I see around me is constantly changing. I understand it differently every day. So there's really nothing that I believed last year that still carries through to this year, except for the basics of love and understanding and caring about people and trying my best to be my best person that I can. And I don't know why people have an issue with that, but I'm definitely not a scientist. I'm definitely not a professor. I'm surely not a guru. I'm just a guy with a camera rambling about life. So, namaste, motherfucker.